We are back at Madison Square Garden. Welcome back to tonight's game between the Rangers and the Islanders, part of the Tri-State Challenge, presented by Ford. And as always, closed captioning is brought to you by the New York Lottery. Hey, you never know. You might win $600 million.
I'm trying. I am trying.
Here's our Audi goaltending matchup once again. It's Henrik Lundqvist in goal. Again the other night, parts of his game real strong, Joe. And unfortunately, beaten in the shootout by Brandon Sutter.
Well, at least what he said after the game is that he felt pretty good about the way he played. And that's a good sign for him because he's talked about lack of confidence. Hopefully the Rangers are waiting for him to get all of it back.
And after being out for a long stretch with an injury, Evgeny Nabokov has come back and played back-to-back strong games.
Hey, look at the numbers. The numbers aren't very good for him. But again, that was earlier in the season. His last two games, you're right, he was very good.
Tough loss against Tampa Bay the other night where they blew a 2-goal lead late. Rangers open up with Derek Stepan centering Rick Nash and Matt Zuccarello, breaking in Kyle Poso, but a hustling back was Ryan McDonagh to make a good defensive play.
Oh, what a move by Oposo on Ryan McDonagh.
Andrew McDonald's shot deflected into the corner by Girardi. Comes back out to McDonald. Looking for lane. He fires. Deflected in front by Derek Stepan. Stepan against Tavares. That's top line against top line. Rangers going opposite Oposo, Vanek, and Tavares. With the Stepan line, Stepan still on as Hagelin has come on along with the forwards just on is Derek Brassard. Chris Kreider plays it back out to John Moore. Shot wide off the end boards, off the side of the net. Moved up the boards by Thomas Hickey. Josh Bailey plays it to McDonald. Long shift for him. That goes by Michael Grabner.
That should be icing, I believe.
No whistle.
Wow. Bounced over the stick of Grabner.
Grabner with the puck in the corner, centered, and it's taken away by Kreider. Kreider coming back, good play. Out to Hagelin. Talked about Michael Grabner. Grabner scored 2 goals the opening night of the season, hasn't scored a goal since. Long shot by Travis Hamonic. Good save by Lundqvist.
Rangers were changing on that play. Pardon me, Sam.
JT Miller is back on. Miller had been playing center in Hartford under the guidance of Ken Jernander, the head coach, who does such a fine job with Jeff Kucherboom and Pat Boland.
Ken Jernander told Alain Vigneault that he's been their best two-way forward in Hartford.
Richards for Pouliot. Nice play by Pouliot. Goes deep. Center is deflected to the side of the net. And played ahead, given away by Carter. But the Islanders able to take it back as Butterbuck was able to clear all the way down. Going back, Strawman battling Ryan Strome. Islanders have a lot of youngsters in the lineup. First-round draft picks. Ryan Strome, Brock Nelson. Puck played deep. Andrew McDonald takes it behind the net.
We said in the open, the surprise for the Islanders is that they've been a team that has struggled to score goals. I mean, last year they didn't have a problem against anybody doing that.
Derek Bolton, number 36. This is the big fourth line. Bolton on with Casey Cizikas, the centerman, and Matt Martin, who loves to hit as he did just there.
That leads the league in hits.
Out to Hickey for a drive. Wide. Tough low shot. Derek Dorsett able to sweep it clear. Rangers fourth line. Dorsett, Dominic Moore in the middle, and Brian Boyle on the left wing.
Now for the Rangers, and they talked about it before this game, but they have got to get their forecheck going and put pressure on the Islanders in their zone. That's where the Islanders have struggled. They've got some injuries on defense, and they've had trouble at times just getting the puck out of their own zone.
Played the other way. Travis Hamonic is there. There's another youngster on defense. Calvin DeHaan, number 44. Another first-round draft pick. In after Tavares. Nice play with a big body by Rick Nash. Nash able to move the puck up to Zuccarello. Now Stepan. Fires into the corner. I think that was the thing that was most noticeable to me, Joe, is the Rangers were unable to sustain the forecheck pressure against Pittsburgh in that young defense.
Yeah, exactly. And those young defense got confidence as the game, kept going, and they just seemed to get better.
Dunna takes it back. We are 4 minutes in, scoreless game. Rangers have yet to get a shot on goal. Chris Kreider sends it in. Kreider Brassard and Hagelin the line for the Rangers. Hickey was bumped by Kreider. Rangers keep in. Delzato playing it ahead. This is Hickey. And moved by DeHaan. Frans Nielsen fires out. Delzato intercepts. And Hickey back for the puck. Heads up ice. Islanders with only one win in their last 14 games. And that was in a shootout. They've had only one regulation win over the last 16 games. Brad Richards moves in and shoots. Save Nabokov. Rebound swept aside. Delzato shoots wide on the backhand. Hustling over and keeping it deep. Girardi back behind the net. Ryan Strome able to move it up the boards. Stopped by McDonough. And Hickey has it back.
Good job by the Rangers in the neutral zone. They forced the turnover and 2 decent chances.
And this early hustling play by the Rangers gets the crowd into it. Richards centers. It's tipped wide off the stick of Dorsey and up into the netting, stopping play. 5:07 gone by in the first.
Well, their forecheck had been pretty good, and they forced the turnover here, but yet here it is. First shot on goal. That's by Richards. And then a second opportunity just goes wide by Delzato, who had moved in from the other side. So they're trying to put a little pressure on Evgeny Nabokov. Now, we talked about his numbers, but in talking to the people with the Islanders, the thing they missed with Nabokov is his leadership.
Yeah.
He's a very vocal goaltender when he's on the ice. He's vocal in the locker room with, as you mentioned, a pretty young team, Sam, so they missed him in that regard.
Puck moved ahead by Brian Straight. Straight missed a lot of time with an injury, just recently returned.
23 games.
Strawman got knocked down. Strome takes over, centers. It's tipped away by Dorsey. Straight goes back to get it. Straight number 37 with Matt Parker on defense. Strome tips it toward the Rangers net. And it's gloved and held by Henrik Lundqvist.
Now Lane Vigneault again telling us before the game he wasn't sure how long he's going to stay with these new lines. You know, he's got Hagelin on the right, he's got Nash over on the left side, you got Miller in the middle, and he said he's looking for some balance, some consistent balance. He hasn't had much with the exception maybe of Stepan and Kreider together, and they're no longer together.
Puck stopped and kept in by Hamonic. DeHaan plays it wide of the net, out to Oposo for a shot. Save made by Lundqvist. Good shot by Kyle Oposo.
He's got a good chance to make the U.S. Olympic team.
Yeah, I agree with you, Joe. He has played so well and so consistently.
That started last season. He just continued it.
Stepan leads Nash. Nash goes deep against DeHaan. He's scoring. He's physical. He skates well. He's got all the tools to be a real good Olympian.
Sam, he changed everything in his approach to the game.
Here's Zuccarello in front. Nash. Save Nabokov. Oh, great passing play. Zuccarello's shot blocked away by DeHaan. Rangers with a couple of really good chances. Stepan finds Zuccarello wide with a shot. Around the boards, Tavares for Oposo. Stopped in center and taken back by McDonough.
That's a great save by Nabokov on Nash.
Tavares' pass blocked by Stepan. They tie each other up. Rangers break out. Zuccarello and Kreider. Kreider on the off wing moves in. Finds an open man. McDonough saved Nabokov. And he pulls the rebound in and stops play. Oh, some good action. Rangers picked up their game. Moving up and down the ice. Nabokov had to make a couple of big saves.
Now, it took the Rangers a few minutes to get their first shots, and when they did, boy, they were tremendous scoring chances. Here's the first one. Rick Nash, beautiful feed, Stepan to Zuccarello, and then that save by Nabokov. And then later on, Kreider finds a streaking McDonough, and Nabokov able to get across and make the save and does a nice job controlling the puck as well.
Rangers passing has been good, Joe.
Real good here on the early part of this game. Again, trying to put as much pressure on this Islander defense as they can.
Puck bouncing in front, finding it. Hagelin save. Nabokov's got it.
Hagelin can't believe it. He cannot believe the opportunity he just missed. He's got to look at it on the big scoreboard. He's looking up, so is Nabokov. Nabokov made a wonderful save. Hagelin found it. There's one save, and now one more. He gets one more chance. He doesn't get all of it. It kind of flipped up, and you can see Nabokov just got it with his right arm as he was sliding across.
Brassard against Cizikas. And a false start on the face-off.
It's going to be outside. What happened was Kreider tripped down the player that was on his side.
Well, I think they chased the two centermen.
I
Or
guess.
at least Brassard was chased.
Kreider got away with it.
Okay. Cizikas back for the puck. He's missed the last 2 games. Just back in the lineup. Straight moves it ahead to Matt Martin. And now Hamonic.
He takes the place of Peter Regan, who sits out this one.
Lundqvist gets a little snow shower from Eric Bolton. And Matt Martin is there for the Islanders. Rangers get involved with Justin Falk.
It's a physical fourth line that's out there. And even though Nielsen is centering 2 fourth-line wingers, and now Martin and Bolton go off. Let's see, is Bolton going to get a penalty? He is. That's an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. And so what Bolton is saying is that the puck was there. He's trying to defend his actions, but the referees make the call. Give Bolton the penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct for spraying snow on the goaltender. And so for Jack Capuano, his team, he says he's tried to just stay positive with his group. He said that's all you can do is keep staying positive. He likes the work ethic of the team, but now their penalty killing is going to get tested.
Frederic Lecuyer, the referee who made the call. Mark Jonette, the other referee. This Rangers power play is brought to you by Volkswagen. Unsportsmanlike conduct to Bolton. Shot by Richards and hit Rick Nash. Nash sets up in front. Richards step on Zuccarello with a puck here. Nash and McDonough. The puck taken away by Franz Nielsen. Drops it off for Klaus Plegenbach. Blocked and the Rangers head the other way. Richards. Zuccarello. Rangers 14th in the league on the power play.
Well, they're getting pressure now. They've been forced into 2 bad passes in the offensive zone, and you've got to keep an eye on this Islander team shorthanded. In particular, number 40, who's on the ice. You mentioned he hasn't scored since the first game of the season, but he's a dangerous player, Michael Grabner.
Played off the boards and out by Andrew McDonald. Rangers just 1 for their last 15 over the last 5 games on the power play. Islanders penalty killing 3 for 3 over the last 2 games. But it has not been a strength for them this season. Delzato goes deep against McDonald. Brassard battling Cizikas. The pass from Kreider comes out of the zone, recovered by Pouliot. Rangers' second unit on.
I think Kreider got slashed on the play again. Again, the sticks for the Islanders are in the passing lane, so the Rangers are going to have to. They're trying to flip the puck over the sticks, and it's not working.
Kreider against Matt Martin. Puck pops in the air. Martin fires it out. Rangers scored 2 power play goals in the first meeting between these 2 teams. Won by the Rangers.
Well, they haven't been able to get set up yet in the offensive zone so they can get a shot.
Delzato carries in. Around the boards for Nash, who's back on. Here's Girardi. Looking. Brister deflected off Brian Straight. Delzato in deep. Puck bounces down. It's cleared out by Tavares.
Now, you saw Girardi take the wrist shot. They were instructed today, the 2 power play units for the Rangers, take the shot. Don't make 2 or 3 passes. Take the shot. Make them defend the rebound.
Power play is over. Rangers did not get a shot on goal. 9:20 gone by. First period, scoreless game. Lifted in by Zuccarello.
Coach will probably tell him again.
Take the shot. DeHaan. Plays it off the boards. McDonough controls it. McDonough with Stralman here. Vanek on the forecheck for the Islanders. Rangers 5 shots on goal. Islanders 3. Long pass to Boyle. Long shot is blocked by Matt Carkner. On the boards. Moore was after it. Hickey clearing it down. Lundqvist watches it go by, and it's an icing on the Islanders. 3 years in the making. 5 nights to experience it all. The world's most famous arena has been transformed like never before. Celebrate along with Garden legends past and present with a special 5-night event. The Garden Transformed, Year 3, presented by Chase. It premieres Friday night at 11 after Knicks Raptors on MSG Network. Midway point, first period. We have yet to go between the benches to John Giannone, but I promise everybody we will do it. John is waiting breathlessly.
He's ready.
He's got him dressed up. JT Miller. In the corner, Carpenter and Pouliot. Back behind the net, Richards. Richards comes out. That's deflected away up into the netting and play stops. 9:46 to go. First period, Rangers and Islanders at the Garden. No score. It's time to go between the benches to John Giannone, presented by Ford. Let's go, John.
Not so breathless, though, Sam. Thanks anyway, though. Hearing some interesting things from both benches. Rangers' Alain Vigneault during that break just said to his team, play fast. So I think he wants to see a little bit more tempo and certainly more offensive zone time. Some of the Islanders players have been just yelling, hit him, every time the Rangers get the puck. They're stressing the physical part of the game. Anson Carter will tell us what he's seeing from his spot down here at ice level. He'll be in the studio between periods. And Al's special guest, tweet your questions at Twitter. Use the hashtag NYR. His special guest between periods is the man in the face-off circle, Brad Richards.
Thanks, John. John will be between the benches throughout the evening.
Brad Richards
for what's going on down on the ice.
Has been taking most of the offensive face-offs, even though Miller's the center on this line.
Miller sends it back ahead for Pouliot. Now Justin Falk, that's deflected on the way in, steered away by Nabokov. No score in the game. Franz Nielsen for the Islanders. Nielsen against Delzato. That was deflected on the way in and blocked away by Lundqvist. Richards moves it across. Islanders keep in. Brock Nelson saved by Lundqvist on the rising shot.
Good play by DeHaan, the Islander defenseman, to stay in the zone and keep that play alive.
DeHaan playing it back to Travis Hamonic. The guy that the Islanders missed badly, both on offense and defense, is Vishnowsky.
Oh yeah, they really do. I mentioned before they've had difficult times getting the puck out of the zone. Vishnowsky was one of those players that could get it out, either skate it out or pass it out. And then the other factor is their power play hasn't been the same since they lost him as well. He's only played 8 games this season.
He's been out since late October.
With a concussion. About a month ago, he was riding the bike. They thought his return was close, and he had a setback, and so he's still trying to find his way back from that concussion.
Big loss for them. The Rangers, we have nothing new to report on Mark Stahl, who's out with a concussion.
I think, unfortunately, we don't have anything new to report. You never know. I mean, when Rick Nash came back, he was back, played immediately, so they just try to wait and see, and that's what those things are.
Ryan Callahan continues his rehab. That's fired across by Dorsett, checked in by Strallman. Down the boards for Brian Boyle. Boyle checked by Straight. Boyle uses the big body to shield the puck. Around the boards, Dorsett goes after it against Matt Carter. Dorsett goes down. Dominic Moore tried to pry it loose. Straight hit by Boyle. Carter bangs it off the glass. That was knocked down, kept in momentarily. Nelson goes for it. Lundqvist leads it for Dominic Moore. John Moore plays it across. Strallman to Zuccarello. Thomas Hickey back for it. Fires it out. These two teams will play 3 times in January in the span of 11 days. One of them will be the outdoor game at Yankee Stadium Wednesday night, January 29th. Zuccarello, that's blocked and came to step on, but he was checked by Tavares.
Oh, how about that play? Good defensive play by Tavares, and then he kicks the puck to Oposo so they could clear.
McDonough with a good play on the dump in, batted it down and out of the zone. Here's Dan Girardi. Nash playing it ahead to Stepan. Nash down the middle. Stepan shot went off of Hickey and out of play. 7:09 to go here in the first period.
You know, Sam, we talked about the forecheck. Now watch the Rangers here, how quickly they get in. That's Dorsett, first man in, good hit. Second man in was right on top of the play. That was Boyle, and now they cause the turnover, and it leads to a few chances, and then Tavares comes back. He makes that defensive play, and how about the feet? Nice little kick pass. I think John Tavares has a pretty good chance to make Team Canada, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, it was interesting, Sam, when you asked him about playing the wing as well, which he can do.
Well, there's so many. Canada is so strong down the middle,
Right.
Joe. I mean, we could
Right.
list half a dozen centers that could start on that team. A tricky shot is controlled by Lundqvist, and he holds it. But that's the thing about asking a guy like Tavares, okay, would you move over the wing?
Right.
And he's ready to do it.
Yeah, and he learned the position. Actually, during the lockout over in Europe, he played the wing, and he's such a great all-around player. Yeah, no matter what position you want to put him in, the kid would excel because of his work ethic and his intelligence.
Dominic Moore moves Dorsett over. Falk moves in front. Moore against Cizikas. Just under 7 minutes to go. First period, scoreless game. Bolton trying to play it. Moore takes it back. On to Delzato and quickly up ahead for Ryan Boyle. Islanders keep in. That was touched with a high stick by Matt Martin. Rangers move it out. Hamonic. DeHaan. Ball to Delzato. Rangers healthy scratch tonight is Taylor Pyatt. If you didn't hear or see the news yesterday with the freeze, the roster freeze at midnight last night, Rangers sent down Aaron Asham and Dylan McIlrath back to Hartford. That's whistled down for icing. Sunday night on MSG, the Rangers take on old friend Zach Parise, former New Jersey Devil, now starring for the Minnesota Wild. Live coverage gets underway with Visa Rangers game night at 7 with Al Trautwig. Rangers and the Minnesota Wild at 7:30 Sunday night on MSG.
Yeah, Zach Parise up front. Ryan Suter, who will probably play 30 minutes. He's done it, 17? I didn't see his minutes from last night, but 17 times this season. Last night might have been the 18th of 30-plus minutes a game for Ryan Suter.
They are without Josh Harding, the goaltender,
All right.
who suffers from MS and is out readjusting his medication.
It's a huge loss.
Yes.
Maybe the best goaltender in the league this year.
Right.
Number 1 in goals against average. Right up there in save percentage. Second in wins.
Miller made a nice play out of the corner, spraying the Rangers. Here's a penalty upcoming. Looks like a high sticking call. And a power play coming up for the Rangers as Andrew McDonald heads off. Rangers Islanders, no score.
There's the man who received the high stick. Benoit Pouliot seems to be okay. Here's what happened. And Andrew McDonald right here, 47. Ooh, gets the stick up high. Catches him in the face, so the Rangers have their second power play of the period.
But Joe, Benoit Pouliot grabbed McDonald's stick. That was not detected.
That's what his argument was, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
This power play, this Rangers power play is brought to you by Volkswagen. As Cassio Marks, the equipment trainer, checks out the shield. Benoit Pouliot, Rangers' second power play. 0 for 1, did not get a shot on goal on the first one. McDonough missed it. Off his stick, racing for it. Clutterbuck gets to it, but was checked by McDonough. And they say it's a penalty.
Oh, boy.
And is that a penalty shot he's pointing?
He's giving him a penalty shot. Now the question was, I thought that McDonough, we'll get a better look at it here on the replay, and I thought, so did the coach, that he just lifted the stick. It looked like a great defensive play, and let's see if he gets the stick or the hands.
Oh,
It looked like he got the stick.
Oh, my.
Let's see again. Did he get the stick? It looked like he made a perfect play with the stick, but here it is.
Cal Clutterbuck moving in on Lundqvist on the penalty shot, and he scores! And the Islanders take a 1-0 lead with 5:18 to go here in the first period on a questionable call.
You know, if you get the hands, and there it is again, he just shoots it right through him. He gets the puck between the left arm and the ribs. And Lundqvist can only get a piece of it. And so Clutterbuck gives the Islanders the 1-0 lead. But if you get the gloves You try to hook somebody on the stick and you get the gloves, you're gonna get called for hooking. If you get the stick underneath the gloves with a quick, as he did there, it should have been just a good defensive play.
Wow.
And a non-call.
So, in any event, the Islanders score on the penalty shot, lead 1-0. Rangers are still on the power play.
And that's a shorthanded goal.
That's right. McDonough and Richards. And Stepan, Zuccarello, and Nash. It all started with the puck bouncing past Ryan McDonough.
Well, right over his stick, Sam.
And great speed shown by Clutterbuck to get to it.
And then McDonough, with his speed, looked like he made the play, but here they are, trailing 1-0.
Stepan with Nash in front. And that got through, and Nabokov made a save. Lundqvist settles the puck down. Derek Brassard. Delzato is on. Brassard, Hagelin, Kreider, Girardi, and Delzato. Kreider trying to play it back. Clutterbuck with the intercept and a clear.
It's been a good job of penalty killing for the Islanders. Not just the shorthanded goal on the penalty shot, but now both of these not allowing the Rangers to get set up. Here it is again. The long pass, missed pass, Islanders clear it.
And once again, as in recent games, Rangers fall behind.
Now the Rangers, on the power play, they just need to settle down and as a group come up the ice together like they are here.
Brassard carries in and shoots, blocked by Hamonic. Cleared by Straight. And the power play is over. So the Islanders, an excellent penalty kill, plus the penalty shot goal by Cal Clutterbuck. Islanders 1-0 lead. A.T. Miller. That went off of Parker. Markov got a piece of that centering play by Dorsett. Dorsett gets pulled down by Matt Carter. And now Dorsett gets up and challenges Carter. The referee sending Dorsett away and calling a holding penalty on Matt Carter of the Islanders, and the Rangers have their third power play.
Yeah, they've got to take care of this. There's Matt Carter, goes in, one hand on his stick, reaching for the puck, and ends up taking down Derek Dorsett. So the Rangers, they couldn't ask for a better opportunity against a rival at home, needing a win. You get 3 power plays in the first period. Yet you trail it with 3:18 to go, but they've got another opportunity here.
Partner for holding at 16:42. Stepan wins the draw. Brad Richards. Zuccarello, quick shot, saved Nabokov, and no rebound. 3:14 remaining in the first period.
Now that was the key phrase, Sam, no rebound. Again, the Rangers, and watching video this morning, the last time they played the Islanders, they had success because they got the shot and were able to get rebounds. So that's why you see, even that last play, you saw Zuccarello just take the wrist shot, but Nabokov did a nice job not allowing a rebound.
Richards carries the puck. Rangers had to go all the way back off the face-off win by Cizikas. Takeaway by Grabner. Michael Grabner breaks in on Lundqvist, and he scores! Michael Grabner's first goal since the opening game of the season. It's a short-handed goal, and the Islanders lead 2-0.
Yeah, we've seen Michael Grabner have success against the Rangers before. Well, he talked about his great speed on the penalty kill, and he didn't look nervous there for someone who hadn't scored in 20-some-odd games. He just uses the speed to skate past Lundqvist, and the patience there to just hold on to the puck. Again, for someone who hasn't scored, sometimes you just want to shoot it. Grabner held on, waited, went past Lundqvist, and put it in.
Wow. So for the third consecutive game, the Rangers have fallen behind by 2 goals and will need to mount a big comeback. Pouliot in deep, around the boards, out to Girardi. Rangers are on a power play. Girardi with a big drive, deflected away by Andrew McDonald. Girardi from Brassard, back to Brassard. Pouliot in the slot. Pouliot scores! Off a great feed from Chris Kreider. Benoit Pouliot. It's a power play goal.
And Alain Vigneault said before the game, Pouliot's been one of their better forwards the last few games. This time they'll work the puck around, and this is just beautiful passing. And the great release by Pouliot, who was on his forehand here. This is not an easy shot, but he let it go quickly, and Nabokov was moving. He wasn't back into position yet. The quick release by Pouliot enabled him to sneak the puck underneath Nabokov. Huge goal for the Rangers. They get one to cut the lead to 2-1.
Well, Rangers needed that badly. Pouliot's second goal in his last 5 games. But a big one on the power play after the Rangers have given up 2 shorthanded goals, one on a penalty shot, the other on the Michael Grabner breakaway. But a terrific pass from Kreider right on the stick of Pouliot to set it up. Offside Islanders coming in. 4th of the season for Pouliot.
How many times do we say when these two teams get together, there's always something that happens that you just don't expect.
No.
2 shorthanded goals in the first period by the Islanders, and one of those on a penalty shot.
Certainly the crowd alive now that the Rangers have gotten on the board. Stepan sends in. Hickey lost it, fired across by Nash, but taken back by the Islanders. Thomas Vanek. Vanek has had 10 points in 13 games with the Islanders. Sent around by McDonough to Nash. Good pass to Zuccarello. Dominic Moore on. Travis Hamonic checks him. Now Vanek. Taken away by Nash. Deflects in front and Hamonic has it back. Franz Nielsen challenges John Moore. He catches up and takes it away. Good play by Moore.
Well, he was flat-footed at the far blue line and was able to get himself back into position with his speed and then make the play with the stick on Nielsen.
The Islanders scored first Clutter Buck. The penalty shot goal is 4th goal of the season at 14:42. Then Grabner at 17:09, unassisted shorthanded goal. His 3rd goal of the season at 17:09. And at 17:39, Pouliot gets his 4th from Kreider and Brassard. Sent in by Boyle. And Nabokov stops it, plays it to Matt Carpenter. Josh Bailey plays it across. Here's Hamonic lifting it out. Good play by McDonough. Quick pass to Richards. Tapped it into the Islanders zone. And McDonald takes over. Final seconds of the first period. Off the boards. McDonough against DePoso. Battle there. The loose puck. DePoso try to play it. Side of the net. Now behind the net. Comes out to Brian Straight. Straight moves down against Richards. 2 seconds to go in the period. Tavares hit by Girardi. And the horn sounds ending what turned into a wild first period, especially the second half of the period.
Well, it was a spirited first period, 17 total shots. The Rangers, you would have thought, would be in the perfect position by having 3 power plays. It didn't work out that way as the Islanders scored twice shorthanded. But that power play goal by the Rangers was big at the end of the period.
Islanders with a 2-1 lead end of the first period. We go to the game side studio to Al Troutwig. Al, what's coming up?
Sam, it's the Delta Intermission Report. I'll be talking to the guys from Duck Dynasty. Just kidding. Actually, I'll be talking to Brad Richards. We'll get his thoughts on JT Miller back on his line and a pretty wild first period. We'll also get Bill Pito from the MSG 150, and Anson Carter will break down the first 20 minutes. It's all coming up on the Delta Intermission Report. The Islanders suddenly strike, and once again the Rangers down by 2, but Benoit Pouliot comes up with a clutch goal. This is a 1-goal game. Coming up, the Delta Intermission Report.
We are back. What a great night for hockey in New York City. It's the Rangers and the Islanders getting set for the start of the second period. New York Rangers hockey is presented by Chase. Time to look at the division standings. Brought to you by Kia. Top 3 teams make the playoffs. Pittsburgh, Washington, Philadelphia has come on Right now, the Rangers are sitting in the number 10 spot. Top 3 teams in the Atlantic Division, Boston, Tampa Bay, and Montreal, with Detroit and Toronto owning the wild card spots right now.
How about Philadelphia's win last night over Columbus, scoring 5 goals in the third period?
Joe, you know who's playing well is Claude Giroux.
Claude Giroux, I think he's sending a message that he wants to play for Team Canada,
yes,
right?
Sir.
After that terrible start that he's had, he's really come on. He had 4 points last night in their win.
What were your impressions of the first period here?
I thought that the Rangers were sloppy on their power play until they scored the goal. But, you know, they need to. They're getting pressure. And you can't keep throwing it laterally. You've got to keep either throw it at the net or throw it in deep and go get it.
Underway second period. McDonough and Girardi on defense with Stepan, Zuccarello, and Nash. The forward line for the Rangers. Islanders have their top line on. Tavares, Oposo, and Vanek. Here's Vanek taking it away from Zuccarello, but gave it up to McDonough. Nash. Girardi moves in, his shot blocked. And recovered by Stepan. His shot blocked. And out comes Kyle Oposo.
Now, Sam, the power play and the special teams obviously were huge in that first period. At even strength, I thought the Rangers were pretty good. Henrik Lundqvist did not get tested much at even strength.
Kreider battling Hamonic. Nielsen moves it to Grabner. And Bailey able to clear it out for the Islanders. Picked up by Michael Grabner. Lost control. And John Moore able to get it to Chris Kreider. The Hahn is stopped by Brassard. Hamonic. Kreider on him. Good forecheck pressure by the Rangers, but Nielsen able to get it clear. Franz Nielsen with a shot that's high off the glass. Bailey bumped along the boards by Strawman. Poked loose by Brassard. And Hacklin able to move it to Kreider. The Hahn. Holding.
Finally healthy, too, isn't he, Hahn? Former first-round pick that's had nothing but problems with the shoulders, surgeries.
Long pass across. Ryan Strome has it, holds it, waits for an open man. And the Islanders give it up. J.T. Miller moves it across.
Good play. Good patience by J.T. Miller.
He seems to feel comfortable at center, Joe.
Well, you know, I think that's his best position because he's on the move and he's patient with the puck.
Puck was batted down with a glove by Delzato. Sent back in. Lundqvist leaves it for Delzato, who heads up ice. Sent in by Miller off the corner boards. Controlled by Casey Cizikas. One hands it into the Ranger zone. Chasing after with John Moore. Cizikas. Good effort in the corner by Cizikas. Martin winds it deep.
He started in his own zone. He picked up the puck behind the net, went all the way down the ice, and made the offensive play.
Moore missed the pass from Boyle, who's behind him. Able to recover. Here's Dominic Moore moving in. Trying to play it in front. Andrew McDonald blocked it. Moore to Dorsett. That shot deflects in! That went in off Thomas Hickey, the Islanders defenseman. But the Rangers, for the third game in a row, have come back from 2 goals down to tie.
The simplest things. Sometimes when you don't get any bounces, you stay with it. And this is just a shot right off Hickey. Nabokov doesn't have a chance. That shot would have been 5 feet wide. Throw it at the net, and you never know what's going to happen. Dorsett will get credit for it. And that's the fourth line for the Rangers. Get a big goal to tie it. And they get the crowd back into it.
So a good start for the second period for the Rangers. I think Alain Vigneault just has to tell his team when they're coming on the ice at the start of the game, you're down 2-0, guys. Let's go.
Let's get started. Even though he did tell us, we kind of wish we didn't have to do that, but there is something to be said about gaining some confidence from falling behind. Here it is again. Now this again starts from just getting in on the forecheck. Just get there and either force a turnover. There's a decent save.
Islanders move in, coming back to Stepan. That's a birthday goal for Derek Dorsett, who is 27 years old today. Dominic Moore and Anton Strawman the assist at 3 minutes. Dorsett's third goal of the season. A giveaway. Tavares is stopped twice. 2 saves by Henrik Lundqvist. Unbelievable. I don't know how he got the second one.
I'm not sure. I don't know how he got the first one. I mean, this was a bang-bang play. The Rangers had control of the puck. They try to make a play out of their own zone. It just goes off a stick and right to the wrong man. One shot, a second shot, and then Girardi coming back actually deflected the puck back towards Lundqvist. What a save, and a second save, and then one more time. He's got to make sure he covers up on Girardi. That's how dangerous John Tavares and that line can be.
John Tavares is going to be having some tough dreams tonight thinking about that line. Henrik Lundqvist with 2 beauties. Nielsen all over Del Zotto. Hagelin able to control. Rangers have tied the game at 2. A little over 4 minutes gone by. Second period. Bailey with a good play in the neutral zone, but gave it up to Del Zotto. Lead to Brassard. DeHaan on him. Brassard checked by Calvin DeHaan. And it's fired out by Nielsen to Bailey. Justin Falk takes over. Fans get into it with a Let's Go Rangers chant off the boards for Kreider. Hamonic off the skate of DeHaan. Able to control and feed it out to Michael Grabner. Cizikas fires in all the way around the boards. Eric Bolton just...
Too many men on the ice.
A lot of guys around the bench.
They got away with it because Martin touched the puck just inside the blue line.
And the puck lifted over the glass into the crowd. We go downstairs between the benches. John, what's happening?
I can tell you this, guys, when Dan Girardi got to the bench, none of the coaches said anything to him, and they didn't have to because somebody else was having a conversation with him, and it was Dan Girardi. He was screaming at himself and scolding himself for what had happened there on that play.
Man.
Did he answer back?
He did. It wasn't pretty.
And did he say that Henrik Lundqvist is his favorite player?
He got up and gave him a big hug when he thought that play was over.
Pouliot saved Nabokov. Good shot by Benoit Pouliot.
Big rebound. Martin was able to come back and clear it.
Bolton with a good pass to Brian Strait. The defenseman moves deep. Centers knocked away by Lundqvist. Almost deflected off the post. Just went wide of the net. Toward the net. Knocked down by Cizikas. Now the Islanders have picked up their play. Matt Carkner. Checked by Pouliot. That got through and the save by Lundqvist. It got through Strawman. Matt Martin was in front for the Islanders.
This fourth line's been pretty good for the Islanders.
Yeah. John Moore lifts it out. Nice and waved off. And Thomas Hickey plays it for the Islanders. 6 minutes gone by in the second. Tied 2-2. That's tipped out of play. And whistle down. 6:02 gone by. Rangers have scored early in the second, and the game is tied. Tonight's Cold Hard Facts are brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Last time the Islanders scored 2 shorthanded goals, March of 2011 against Tampa Bay. Last time the Rangers gave up 2 shorthanded goals, December 12th, 2008 against the Devils. And those facts courtesy of the Elias Sports Bureau. And we thank them for that.
And we're not quite halfway through this one yet, so
anything could happen.
Get a goal, bounce in off a defenseman that was going well wide. The 2 shorthanded goals, 1 a penalty shot.
Fourth line on for the Rangers with Dominic Moore, Brian Boyle, and Derek Dorsett. Del Zotto had trouble with Clutterbuck. He He's a tough guy to play against, Cal Clutterbuck.
He's a hard-nosed player. He can skate. He's got some skill, as we saw him score on the penalty shot, but he's always one of those players that you better keep your head up. He's always going to finish a check.
Andrew McDonald try to avoid Dorsett. Dorsett comes out and shoots, saves the Nabokov. And Dorsett got knocked down. Boyle got knocked down from behind. And let's see, did we get a call? There is a cross-checking call coming up.
Now, this all happened on the forecheck. And again, this line with Boyle and Dorsett, and now Dorsett having some words with Nabokov. This line has done a real good job on the forecheck. Oh, you know what? See Nabokov with his left arm? He cuffs Dorsett right across the side of the head as he was coming in on the forecheck. And so that's what started. Watch it again.
Oh, yeah.
Gets him right there. And then Dorsett ends up with a chance, and Nabokov has to make a good save from that angle.
And on that play, Clutterbuck was called for cross-checking at 6:40.
He missed the first one.
And here's the short-handed chance for Grabner. And it hits a crossbar. Oh, my. That was almost the third short-handed goal of the game for the Islanders. You're right, Joe. Anything could happen. Here's Grabner. He's all over the ice, deflecting pucks.
Damn, they got to pay attention. The guy, every time they play the guy's got as good a speed as anybody in the game. You got to pay attention.
Pouliot surrounded by Islanders. Girardi to Delzato. That's deflected. Missed by Hamonic. Kreider, Pouliot, and Brassard with Delzato and Girardi. This is the unit that scored the power play goal earlier when the Rangers got on the board with their first goal of the game. Islanders with two shorthanded goals, one on a penalty shot by Cal Clutterbuck and the other by Michael Grabner. And Grabner almost got another one. Richards. Nash moves it ahead. Stepan plays it deep. Richards had it knocked away by McDonald. Stepan winds it around. Zuccarello is there. Played in front. They score! Derek Stepan! It's a power play goal! Rangers lead 3-2.
What a game this is turning out to be. The shorthanded chance by Grabner. Thank you, crossbar, the Rangers are saying. Now they go down the other way. Zuccarello just throws it to the net. That's all he does is throws it to the net. The puck with a couple of bounces, and there's Derek Stepan to finish it off. What the Rangers are learning is you can't try to make a play out at the blue line against this penalty killing. That time they get deep, they throw it towards the net, they get a fortuitous bounce, in the net it goes, and the Rangers have scored 3 straight.
All right, alert the Elias Sports Bureau. When's the last time the Rangers gave up 2 shorthanded goals and scored 2 power play goals in the same game? Oh, man. Rangers have scored 3 unanswered goals and lead 3-2.
Well, let's see. This is your 30th year, right? And you can't think of it, so we got to go back a little ways.
We need help from Elias. Icing whistle against the Islanders. Stepan with his second power play goal of the season.
Here again is the word. Get deep. You get Zuccarello in. And he'll go to the boards. Instead of throwing back to the point, he throws it to the net. And then that's where they get the bounce. So the Rangers' point men on the power play are not getting any time to make plays. And so Zuccarello did the smart thing.
Stepan from Nash and Zuccarello at 7:58. And the Rangers have a 3-2 lead. McDonough around the boards. Pinching in was Hamonic. He missed it. Chris Kreider gets there. Hit by DeHaan. DeHaan went down. Kreider across. Offside was Carl Hagelin on the play. 8:46 gone by here in the second period. Catch the Rangers at Madison Square Garden. New York Rangers 2013-2014 individual game tickets are on sale now. There's limited availability for the Minnesota Wild game this Sunday, December 22nd. Visit NewYorkRangers.com to secure great seats today.
Okay, tell me the final score of this one, Sam. You're so smart. You're 30 years of hockey. How's this one going to end?
I don't know, Joe. Anything could happen. You're right.
It's wild, isn't it? But it's great.
It's great action. And the fans have to be loving it, especially the comeback by the Rangers again.
These coaches have to be wondering what's going on here.
Boy.
But you know, for Alain Vigneault, he's got to have a little bit of a smile on his face. His team with 3 straight.
John Moore with a dump in, chasing after it. And Kartner pressured by Pouliot. Stopped by Richards. Brought back out by Brock Nelson to Ryan Strome. Here's Nelson with a shot. Fought off by Lundqvist. Good save. That shot went wide. There's a penalty coming up on the Rangers. A hooking call. And it looks like Anton Stralman going off.
Well, I think that he screened Lundqvist first before he took the penalty. And Lundqvist used his catching glove like a blocker to make the save. You'll see Stralman here. Looks like he was screened, and Nelson took the shot. Good save by Lundqvist, and then Stralman with the stick on Nelson as he went for the rebound, and now the Rangers shorthanded.
Islanders power play, 21st in the league. Stralman for hooking at 9:20. And the Islanders' first power play of the game, 1 for 9 over the last 4 games.
Now they win the face-off there. It's something that the Islanders were 12-7 in the first period on face-offs, but Rangers win that one and clear.
Nice pass. Oposo couldn't control it. The pass from Tavares. Comes out in front. Hagelin clears. Hagelin, Boyle, Girardi, and McDonough on the ice. Now Boyle and Hagelin go off. Dominic Moore and Derek Dorsett come on.
Sam, you mentioned Wisnowski earlier, Sam. This is another area where they really miss him. Andrew McDonald, who has the puck, not really normally a power play guy, but he's had to try and fill in for Wisnowski, and those are big shoes to try and fill.
And Jack Capuano just saying that Wisnowski gives you so much offensive zone time. He controls the puck so well.
You know, the other thing is this. You know, they made the trade for Thomas Vanek and traded Matt Moulson. And Moulson was one of the best on the power play. They had a lot of chemistry, and thus far that group is still learning to play together with Vanek up front.
Second power play unit on the puck around the boards and out of the zone. Rangers have Boyle and Hagelin back on. Good pressure by Brian Boyle, skating well. Cal Clutterbuck for the Islanders. 30 seconds to go in the power play. Clutterbuck trying to go all the way. Lundqvist poked at it but missed it. Off the boards to Boyle. Fires it out. Rangers bring on Zuccarello, Stefan, Girardi, and McDonough. Rangers have given up only 5 power play goals over the last 18 games. 40 for 45. Lundqvist with a stop. Fired up the boards by Girardi, kept in by DeHaan. Strome's pass. Bailey goes back. Shot from the point. Score! Brian Straight. The power play had just ended. It went off the glove of Henrik Lundqvist, and the Islanders have tied it 3-3.
I'm wondering if Matt Martin maybe is going to get credit for this as well. We'll see, but he was directly in front of Lundqvist. So the Rangers successfully kill the penalty, and then this happens. Long shot. Going down to block it was McDonough. Matt Martin was there. I think you're right, Sam. I think it just went off the glove, huh?
I think maybe Martin did distract Lundqvist because the big body was there in front of him. But Lundqvist looked like he thought he had it. Nevertheless, the Islanders, as the power play had just expired, scored to tie the game. Around the boards it goes. 8:10 to go in the second period. Grabner's pass blocked by John Moore. Stralman. One thing on this homestand, Joe, that's noticeable, the Rangers have not been able to keep the goals against down.
No.
It's been 3 or 4 goals every game.
It's been the focus of the video that they watch before practices, sometimes after practice, about being in the right position defensively. And really their game plan is some of these games where we talked about, they get off to slow starts as far as forechecking goes because they're thinking defense.
Nash with a good move to gain the zone, playing it deep for Brian Straight, his first NHL goal. Bailey and Strome get the assist for Strome, his first NHL point. So a lot of firsts for the Islanders as they tie the game. Derek Stepan had given the Rangers the lead with a power play goal. Brian Straight tied it.
3-3 game. Straight scores the goal. Here it comes. Does it hit McDonough? I don't think so. Doesn't hit Martin. And for Henrik Lundqvist, he just gets a piece of it. That ties the game.
First regular season NHL goal for Brian Straight.
Right. Scored in the playoffs last year against Pittsburgh in round number 1.
And for Ryan Strome, in his third NHL game, first point of his career. Congratulations to him. And back and forth these teams go. 3-3 the score, 7:10 to go in the second period. Stepan looking for it. Tavares bats it into the Rangers zone. McDonough back to get it. On him is Vanek. They tie each other up. McDonough able to move it. Here comes Zuccarello. Thomas Hickey has it back.
Faceoffs continue to be a problem for the Rangers. Islanders have won 21 and lost 11.
Zuccarello made a great play in the neutral zone, and Nash was stopped by McDonald. Here's Tavares spinning on McDonough. Vanek fires it across. Laid deep by Kartner. Oposo tried to get out front. Girardi stopped him. Matt Kartner for the Islanders. Shots are only 14-13 in the game in favor of the Rangers. Offside. Rangers on the play. 6:13 to go here in the second. Tonight, catch this week's all-new edition of the AV Squad. Join Bill Pito and Coach Alain Vigneault as they take you inside the Rangers. The AV Squad, presented by Cadillac, tonight at 10:30, following post-game coverage right here on MSG Network. Justin Falk tried to shoot it in and was blocked by Brock Nelson. Nelson lost his stick. Falk has it back. It's a broken stick by Brock Nelson. And another one from the bench. Stays on the ice. Gonzalo. Now Richards for Miller. Miller able to play it deep. Miller was in position, had the stick raised, looking for a shot, a one-timer. Couldn't get it off. Richards toward the net. And Miller just missed the deflection try. Richards able to stop Brock Nelson. Rangers touch up and get onside. Islanders clear out. Clutterbuck. Shot blocked by Justin Falk. Picked up by Delzato. His shot went off from Hamonic. Hamonic banks it off the board. Delzato keeps it in. JT Miller there to play it. Out to John Moore. A wrister goes wide. Off Miller. Strawman able to play it deep. Miller behind the net. Keeps it moving to Richards. Back the other way. Strawman comes down. Against Strome. The puck is blocked and played there by DeHaan. And DeHaan lifts it ahead for Clutterbuck. That went off of John Moore. And Hagelin able to move it.
Damn, you mentioned the shots. Actually, both teams doing a pretty good job at blocking shots, deflecting shots. Save percentages for the goaltenders, not too good at this point.
Not at 3-3. Matt Martin played it back. Hickey's pass broken up. Picked up by Martin as he brings it in against John Moore. Save! That got through a tough backhander. Back the other way. Kreider to John Moore. The Islanders got a piece of that and deflected wide. Kreider in deep. Checked by Martin. Keeps it alive. Two big bodies. Girardi across to McDonough. The shot is deflected away by Nabokov. Girardi in deep. Ryder looks around. McDonough checks in. Hagelin hangs in the button. Martin got the better of that. And Hagelin stays with it. Hagelin trying to play it in front and hit the back of the net. Ryder's got it. Some good pressure here by the Rangers.
The fourth line for the Islanders is tired now. Matt Martin just flips it on the zone to try and get a change. The Rangers might get a break here.
There's a chance for Boyle moving in with Dominic Moore. Drives to the net. One-handed shot. Saved Nabokov, and he's got it. Strong effort by Brian Boyle, driving hard to the net. And the big collision. Nabokov comes away with a puck. 3:25 to go in the second. It's time for a Cadillac trivia question. Ryan Strome was drafted 5th overall by the Islanders in 2011. Joe, who were the first 4 picks?
Dan, this is the most difficult question we've had this year. I have no idea. Do you know?
Yes.
Oh.
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, number 1.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Number 2, Gabriel Landeskog from Colorado.
Didn't know that.
Number 3, you know Jonathan Huberdeau to Florida.
Didn't know that.
And number 4 to the Devils, Adam Larson.
How do you do it?
You know what?
How do you do
When
it?
you turn to the right page in the media guide of the NHL, you can find all kinds of facts.
You win.
That was a good draft, by the way. There's a lot of good young
I'd
players
say.
in that draft.
Real good.
And after Ryan Strome, Mika Zibanejad, Mark Scheifele, Sean Couturier, Dougie Hamilton. Pretty good young players there.
All playing.
Hamonic deep off the stick of Franz Nielsen. Chopped that by Derek Dorsett. Rangers with 2 goals here in the second. Took a 3-2 lead. Islanders come back to tie it. 3-3 to score. Rangers had trailed 2-0 in the first period. Ryan Boyle tied up in the corner by Vanek. Nice job by Boyle coming out with the puck. Stallman. Now Dorsett offside. Here's Derek Stepan. 2:31 to go in the second period. New York Rangers hockey is brought to you in part by Lenox Hill Hospital, the official hospital of the New York Rangers.
Now, since that third goal, the goal that was scored by the Islanders to tie this game, things have settled a little bit. It was kind of wild there, wide open, scoring chances by both teams. But since the tie, it's been a little bit more defensive-minded.
Taken away by Rick Nash, moves in, drops it back to Stepan, he shoots wide, missed the net.
Until now.
Big chance. Zuccarello. McDonough looks. His pass intercepted by Tavares, taken back by Nash. Nash against Tavares, trying to get to the net. And Nabokov dives on top of the puck and stops play with exactly 2 minutes remaining in the second.
The Rangers have missed the net on a couple of real good chances in this game, and that's just a good play. And Stepan, as Nash was really skating on this shift, and then there's that chance. Boy, oh boy, what a chance that was. He had time. It looked like it hit something. I wasn't sure if it was Hickey sliding or whether it was Nabokov. They got a piece of it with the glove. Or maybe it was labeled for the upper corner.
Miller, it was played behind the net to Richards. Out in front, Clutterbuck comes out with it for the Islanders. Lozano back. Lozano after the puck. Nelson got knocked down by Justin Falk. Puck taken by Strome. Around for Nelson. Checked along the boards by JT Miller. Falk takes it loose. And Lozano's got it with 1:20 to go in the second period. Pouliot gets it back, bangs it off the boards.
Grabner nearly had another breakaway. The Rangers' defense were changing. There was no one on that side.
There's Grabner. 3 men back for the Rangers. He got Bailey wide, under a minute to go in the second period. 3-3 game. Kreider with Brassard. Plays it on goal. Nabokov to save, and he holds on. Hagelin gets shoved away from in front by Straight, and gets challenged by Frans Nielsen.
They really went after Hagelin there.
Little snow shower that he gave Nabokov, yeah.
Hagelin was going hard to the net. And then got some attention from Straight. And then from Nielsen. Let's see. Well, there's the...
Oh, and the stick, too.
That looked like his stick, right? A little tap on the mask. There it is again. Hagelin. Stop. Well, you know what happened, though? He got him with the stick, I think, when he got hit. It looked to me like the momentum moved him forward, which included the stick. I think it was more the snow shower than anything that incensed the Islander players.
No penalties called. Frans Nielsen going to the bench without a helmet. 48.7 remaining, second period. Brassard, Kreider, and Hagelin on for the Rangers. Tavares comes on with Bailey and Grabner here. That's a different combination. Hagelin around the net. Hagelin against McDonald. Centers. Brassard couldn't get a shot off. Straight tied him up. And the puck deflects out of play with 36 seconds remaining. And a penalty called on Chris Kreider in the offensive zone.
And Nabokov and Kreider having a few words. Nabokov loves to talk. And he's having words with Kreider as Kreider makes his way to the penalty box. Kreider gets the penalty. Let's see, here goes. Oh, he cut inside of Bailey. Tries to cut inside of him and just got a piece of him enough for Bailey to go down. And the referee that was in the neutral zone called the interference.
Power play Islanders. Their second of the game. Boyle trying to move it out. And it's backhanded out by McDonough.
Oh, did he touch it? He knew he dropped his stick.
Dropped the stick. No call on the play.
That was going to be interesting, a second look at that one. It was close, and I think Nabokov at the last second said, wait a second, I'm outside the trapezoid, so he just dropped his stick.
And this is the pair, and especially Lecuyer, Frederick Lecuyer, that called the one on Corey Schneider. Here's a chance for Vanek. And it deflected, rather it was a Poso, and it deflected in the corner. So the Islanders getting chances. Period comes to an end. Islanders will have a power play to start the third period.
And now Kreider and Nabokov having a word, but here he is here. Look, he's just going to play it. No, better not.
Well, he played it on top of the goal line,
right,
off
which
his
is
stick.
okay,
Yeah.
right? And then as soon as it crossed the goal line, he recognized that. And then Nabokov and Kreider had some words as Kreider was coming out of the penalty box. Here it is again. And Nabokov, the veteran. No, this is great.
Is he talking to him in Russian or English? Let's go down to the game side studio to Al Trodwig. Al?
Sam, it's too bad we have nothing to talk about. My goodness. On the New York Lottery Intermission Report, I'll be joined by a man who scored in this game. That's Derek Dorsett. Plus, as you can tell, with tensions mounting, he's got to be on call for extra duty, if you know what I mean. Bill Pito has the MSG 150. Anson Carter is here, and we will break down the first 40 minutes of this game. So it's the New York Lottery Intermission Report. The Rangers tie things, then go in front, but the Islanders respond. It's 3-3 heading to what should be an exciting third period.
We are back. Lovely night in New York and a great night for hockey. Rangers and Islanders start of the third period. New York Rangers hockey is presented by Chase. Islanders have struggled in third periods, outscored 39-20 this season. They have blown leads, but here they come in tied, and you know that Jack Capuano is just reminding his team, keep playing, going the way you're going.
He's trying to get them positive. They will start this period on the power play as Chris Kreider is in the penalty box.
Minute 25 remaining in his penalty. And the Rangers win the faceoff and clear all the way down. Boyle and Hagelin, Girardi and McDonough for the Rangers on the penalty kill. Islanders with Tavares, Oposo, Nielsen, McDonald, and Vanek. In deep, Nielsen. Vanek's got it. It's got Oposo. It was tipped by Hagelin. Good play. McDonald. Now Tavares. Back to Randy McDonald. Oposo with a drive and a save by Lundqvist, and he holds it.
Boy, that's a nice job by McDonough in front. Thomas Vanek is one of the best in the league at deflecting pucks and getting rebounds. He's got tremendous hands when he's in front of the net. And McDonough, watch McDonough defend and keep him to the right. He keeps him out there so that Lundqvist can see the shot, and Lundqvist is able to hold on with Vanek right there ready to pounce on a rebound.
Moore against Tavares. Tavares wins the draw. McDonald moving with the puck. Shot by Oposo, kicked out. Great shot and a beautiful pad save. A penalty in front. It looks like Girardi knocked down Vanek. And let's see. Girardi is heading for the penalty box. The Rangers will be 2 men short for 43 seconds.
Faceoffs have been a problem for the Rangers. They lose this one again. And Oposo, who just recently has been put on the point because of his shot, gets the shot. He forces Lundqvist to make a good save. That's a hard, low shot. But then in front, there you see Thomas Vanek. He gets taken down by Girardi, and now the Rangers have some work to do.
Crucial point here. It's a 5-on-3 for the Islanders. McDonald fakes. Tavares has got it. Now McDonald. Rangers with 2 defensemen, Strowman and McDonough with Brian Boyle. McDonald to Oposo. That was tipped. Good play by McDonough. Tavares has it. Tavares looking to pass. Kicked away by Strowman. And McDonough able to get it out of the zone.
Well, nice job. They're trying to get the puck in front to Vanek, and the Rangers do a nice job preventing that.
Boyle made a good play. Oposo kept it in. It's a pass. They score! Lundqvist got a piece of it, but it trickled by him. They score on the 5-on-3, and the Islanders, with a 4-3 lead, will still have a power play.
Thomas Vanek gets the goal. Now, they prevented him from touching the puck the last time. Now, the Islanders do a good job, and there it is. Thomas Vanek pounds his stick on the ice, wanting this, and look at Oposo with his head up. And right there, there's the deflection by Vanek. Lundqvist can only get a piece of it. It just trickles over the goal line. Real heads-up play by the Islanders to keep it in the zone, and then by Oposo to put that hard pass onto the stick of Vanek.
Islanders with 3 special teams goals, 2 shorthanded goals, a power play goal, and they have the lead 4-3. Big collision at the line, Strowman and McDonald. Hagelin races down shorthanded. A minute to go with a penalty to Dan Girardi, who went for interference at 42 seconds. Here's Stepan trying to get out in front, denied by McDonald. Stepan surrounded by Islanders, the puck taken away. Tavares on the move. Now Kyle Oposo. Back to Tavares. Knocked away. Tavares recovers. All the way through to Oposo. Now Travis Hamonic with a wrist shot that went off of Stepan. They're on the boards. Derek Stepan trying to find it. Vanek takes over. Back pass to Hamonic. Now Oposo. Vanek sets up in front against Falk. Along the boards, good effort by Zuccarello to clear it out. Recovered by the Islanders. Ryan Strome has it. Vanek got the goal. His 11th goal of the season. His second power play goal from Oposo and McDonald at 1:18. McDonough for Boyle. Tried to clear. That was stopped. Boyle picks it up after Zuccarello fell down. Boyle cuts inside against Hamonic. Good job by recovering for Hamonic. Shot by Nash. Save. Nabokov, and he holds it. Teams are back at full strength. And the whistle, and Boyle and Hamonic going at it.
Boy, that started at just inside the blue line and carried forward to the net as Nash had the last opportunity. And then Nabokov was able to find the puck and get the whistle. Here's the move again. There's Boyle and Hamonic, and then here's the last chance. Good job by Nabokov controlling that, and Hamonic doesn't want to stop. Boyle doesn't want to stop.
They're still in the penalty boxes yelling at one another. It seems like a civil discussion. They're not yelling.
You can't come to the net. Oh, I'm supposed to go to the net. Yeah, but you can't push me and punch me.
So the teams will skate four-a-side. We haven't seen that in the game yet. First time.
Right.
There's another new thing for this game, which has had a little bit of everything. Michael Grabner. He's got a short-handed goal in the game. Shot by Strome way wide. On the board, Hickey keeps in for the Islanders. Now Grabner. Grabner forced back. Girardi after the puck. Strome on him.
Penalty
Coming on Strome. Rangers move out. Get an extra man on. Moving in John Moore. Shot blocked by McDonald. And the Rangers get a power play on a hooking ball to Ryan Strome. All right.
Strome tried to get in on the forecheck on Girardi. And you'll see, there's the stick up in the hands.
Not much.
Not much. Doesn't take much.
The Rangers will take it. They have 2 power play goals. They've given up 2 shorthanded goals, one on a penalty shot. Thomas Vanek scored the goal to give the Islanders the lead.
He's got tremendous hands. I mean, that was a beautiful deflection of the shot.
Now, for a minute 25, provided there are no other penalties, it'll be a 4-on-3 power play advantage. Delzato with the puck. Now Richards, Stepan and Nash on for the Rangers. Shot by Richards, missed the net. Stepan to Delzato to Stepan. He shot and he missed the net. It goes all the way out.
Now that's what happens when you miss the net from that angle. Richards on the first one missed the net, but the Rangers kept it in. They couldn't on the Stepan shot.
Nash taken away by Cizikas, who clears all the way down. 4 minutes gone by, third period. Islanders lead 4-3. Here's Nash to Delzato. 4-on-3 man advantage. Richards looking for lane, shot blocked. Straight, and Nash go for the puck. Richards kicks it loose to Stepan. Using the stick, Nabokov got a piece of it. And it's cleared by Franz Nielsen.
McDonald with a real strong defensive play on Stepan.
55 seconds to go in the Rangers power play. Brassard at the line, offside Rangers. 16 seconds remaining in the 4-on-3 advantage.
Now Stepan, when he gets the puck behind the net, 21 is Stepan. He avoids the poke check somewhat. And then here's McDonald. Real good positioning. Takes him out of the play. And at the same time is able to dislodge the puck. And the Islanders clear it.
Face-off win by Brassard. Gains the zone. He's on with Pouliot, John Moore, and Girardi. Brassard. Big drive. Save the box off. The big rebound. Cleared away by Hickey. Got there just a moment before Girardi. And it's cleared out of the zone. Now it's a 5-on-4. Power play advantage for the Rangers with 28 seconds to go on the man advantage. John Moore heads up ice. Rangers down 4-3. Brassard for John Moore. He's pressured there. Good play by Clutterbuck to get it out of the zone. Cal Clutterbuck. He scored on the penalty shot to give the Islanders a 1-0 lead. They led 2-0. Rangers led 3-2. Islanders lead 4-3 now. And the teams are back at full strength. Around the boards and all the way out. Racing for it, Ryan Strome. Just out of the penalty box. Heads for the net. And it's kicked away. Strome in his third NHL game, looking for his first NHL goal. Had a great chance. Zuccarello knocked away by Nabokov. Hahn is hit by Zuccarello. Rangers take it back. Dominic Moore. Nabokov keeps it moving. Strowman comes down to play it. Dorsett in the corner against Hamonic. Strowman's pass knocked away. Islanders come out. Tavares. Marcel DeHaan. Calvin DeHaan sends it in. McKenna takes over. Tavares on him. McDonough gets away. McDonough leads the rush. The shot deflected up into the netting and play stops. 6:22 gone by. Third period. Islanders have regained the lead. It's 4-3.
At the Garden, John Giannone between the benches. Derek Dorsett, Brian Boyle still yelling at the Islander bench after that last timeout. I talked to associate coach Scott Arniel between periods, and 4 different times he made mention of 5-on-5 play. He liked what the Rangers did 5-on-5 in the second period. The forecheck was strong. Secondary support was strong. He said, if we could play a 5-on-5 game, I like our chances. The implication to me, guys, is that the Rangers not sure what these referees are calling. Right now, it seems like they're calling virtually everything.
Thanks, John. Crowd getting loud. Rangers 2 for 5 on the power play in the game, but have given up 2 shorthanded goals. Frans Nielsen shot goes wide. Islanders 1 for 3 on the power play in the game. There's 2 shorthanded goals, 3 specialty team goals. Grabner, who's had a good game as he looks to get his confidence and his offense back in gear.
He's been playing well. Jack Capuano, the head coach, telling us this morning, he's doing everything but scoring. Hitting, blocking shots.
Lozano's without a stick. He broke. Strong in the corner. Lozano gets a stick from JT Miller. The puck out of the zone. And Miller able to get to the bench, and the Rangers change. And avert any trouble. 7:20 gone by, third period. Rangers down 4-3. This game has gone back and forth.
Hasn't been a boring game, has it?
No, not at all. Zuccarello moves in against McDonald. Headed right through. Along the board, Stepan. Stepan moves in against McDonald and forces him back. Nash setting up in front, battling Hickey. Here's Stepan for Nash off his skate. Nash moved out to try to receive the pass, get ready for it. Just missed. Clutterbuck. Clutterbuck is checked by Strawman. Strawman goes down. Zizekas against Nash in the corners. Played back by Bolton. Matt Cartner's shot deflected on the way in. Strawman finds it. Cleared to the side. Matt Arden's got it. Stick to side by Lundqvist. Zizekas and Stepan tied up. Corello hit by Martin. John Moore pumps it in. Rangers change. Carter. Brassard digging for it. It's out of the zone. Recovered by Delzato. 8.5 minutes into the third period. Brian straight double team. It's knocked loose. Vanek played it right in front of his crease. Knocked out of the zone. Vanek going for it. Already sent the deal away. And Brian Straight takes over.
Sam, you talked about these third periods by the Islanders. So many of these games, they've either led or been tied in the third period and never seem to win.
Poso trying to get it to Vanek. The pass was behind him. McDonough pushes it ahead. Hagelin got it out of the zone. Good pressure here by the Islanders. They put the puck in the Rangers zone a couple of times. Put some pressure on. Richards around for McDonough. Up the board. Stopped by Hamonic. Knocked down by Pouliot. Pouliot with a goal in the game for the Rangers. McDonough takes a hit from Grabner. Pouliot moves in. Fires. Nice save with a left pad by Nabokov. John Moore. Pouliot plays it back. Coming down the midway point of the third period. Brad Richards. Zuccarello after. Sahan plays it off the glass. Knocked down by John Moore. Keeps it in. And let's go Rangers chant up from the crowd. Stepan fires ahead for Zuccarello and lost his balance as he tried to receive the pass and break in at the same time.
The Islanders caught in a change. They had 2 players going to the bench. That left the middle open, and Zuccarello couldn't handle the pass.
Nash moves in, spins, but lost control as he tried to spin on McDonald. Falk all the way around the boards. McDonald there to play it. Stepan on him. Past the midway point. 9:20 to go in the third. Rangers trail 4-3. Islanders led 2-0 in this game. Clutterbuck avoided Falk. Listen, penalty coming up.
This will be against the Rangers.
Delzato upset with a call, but heading for the penalty box. Islanders power play coming up.
Rangers will be shorthanded. Michael Delzato goes to the penalty box. Here's what happened. Top of your screen, see the puck coming around, and Delzato with the high hit on Bolton.
They called it charging,
Called it
Joe.
charge. I don't think it was a charge, but he got him up high, and they make the call. So now the Rangers penalty killing has to go to work.
Islanders power play 1 for 3. Vanek scored that power play goal, his first power play goal as an Islander. Nielsen, Tavares, Vanek, Oposo, and McDonald for the power play. Face-off win by the Rangers, and they clear it. Hagelin, Boyle, Girardi, and McDonough on for the Rangers. Boyle with a takeaway. Moves deep, short-handed. Boyle controlling. Good job by Brian Boyle. Outstanding effort, and Boyle lost the stick, heads for the bench. Half a minute is ticked off on the Islander power play. 8:35 to go in the third. Islanders leading 4-3. This is a crucial penalty kill for the Rangers. Girardi with a takeaway. Off the boards. Hagelin brings it out. Lee to Moore. Dominic Moore against Vanek. Vanek took the body. Good job by Thomas Vanek. A good hit.
Boy, he made a good play. He was on the boards on the near side and anticipated where that puck was going to be, and he turned and made a real good defensive play.
Heard the crowd reaction, but that was a good play by Vanek. Clutterbuck is on, hit by Falk. These are former teammates in Minnesota for 4 years with the Minnesota Wild. Falk with a takeaway. Can't clear. Hamonic with a drive. Blocked. Dorsett and Boyle on with Falk and Strowman. Shot by DeHaan. Blocked in front. And Boyle carries it out. Stopped by Hamonic and sends it into the zone. DeHaan with the intercept. For Clutterbuck. Stopped by Boyle. Clutterbuck ran into Boyle. Ryan Strome back to Travis Hamonic. 18 seconds to go in the power play. Clutterbuck. Good pass to Strome. Strome in deep. Looking to make the play. Finds Hamonic. And the shot blocked in front. Shot by DeHaan. Saved by Lundqvist. Moore tried to clear. Dominic Moore was stopped. Clutterbuck's got it. Slap shot blocked. Good block by McDonough. Power play is over. 7 minutes to go in the third. 4-3. Islanders lead it. Strowman. Zuccarello back to McDonough as the Rangers regroup. Strowman lifts it cross ice for Zuccarello. Hickey. Around for Matt Martin. Tipped it off the glass. And Brian Straight moves it out. And let's go Rangers chant up from the crowd. The Rangers shoot in. Martin hit by Girardi. Got it out of the zone. Nash back to get it. Pass tipped. But played by John Moore. And a penalty on Cizikas. It was unintentional, but he got John Moore's leg, and it's going to be a tripping call on Casey Cizikas.
He just got a piece of him. Moore limped his way to the bench.
They call it kneeing.
Yeah, but he tried to make a move, and watch Cizikas. Throws out the left leg, just barely clips him. He really threw it out, and he reaches out with the left leg. It actually got him on the ankle or on the foot. Seemed like the skates came together.
Coming up, it's the Foxwoods Final Five. Foxwoods, your destination for endless excitement. 6:22 to go. Again, crucial point of the game. Rangers power play chance. Delzato fanned on it. Loose puck to Richards. Now Stepan. Nash set up in front. Richards with a shot deflected into the corner. Richards, Delzato, Zuccarello, Stepan, and Nash for the power play. Delzato knocked down by Hamonic. Richards digging for it. Clutterbuck trying to move it. Hand pass whistled against the Rangers. Brings it outside the zone. Cizikas kneeing at 13:38. Rangers are 2 for 5 on the power play in the game. But boy, do they need to be 3 for 6.
You're right.
McDonald off the face-off win, clears all the way down.
It's been a strong game in the face-off circle for the Islanders.
Brad Richards heads up ice. Nash to his right. Drops it for Delzato. Here comes Stepan. Down the boards. McDonald clears.
This Islander penalty killing is so aggressive that you can't try to beat them one-on-one. You've got to have close puck support.
Lead to Nash. Gets around Nielsen. Cuts in. Shot deflected away. Stopped by Stepan. Open man Delzato. Slap shot is blocked. And Nielsen's got it. And he clears all the way down. 50 seconds to go in the Rangers power play. 5:10 to go in the third period. Islanders lead the Rangers 4-3. Lead to Pouliot. Pouliot with Brassard and Kreider. McDonough and Richards. Brassard to Richards. He takes the shot. Saved the buck off. No rebound. 31 seconds to go in the power play. Experience the all-new Chase Bridges at Madison Square Garden. Catch all of the action from the newest and most unique vantage point in sports. For great seats, visit NewYorkRangers.com.
By the way, Sam, our thanks to Paul Petrolak and his wife, Mary Lee Jenkins. They were up here for the second period. They made a huge donation to the Newmark School for Autism in New Jersey, and we thank them for their generous donation.
Absolutely. Thanks, Joe. And they wanted to stay for the third period because they felt they got the Rangers a 2-1 advantage in the second. Maybe we should have kept them. Kreider checked in the corner, ridden hard by McDonald into the boards. 5 seconds to go on the power play. Around the McDonough's in deep. Power play is over. McDonough holding. Comes out. Shoots. Deflected away. Played by Brassard. To Kreider. McDonough with a wrist shot. Too high off the glass. McDonald swings it around the boards. McDonough keeps it in on the line. No. They whistled it down. I thought he kept it in. Well, the linesman had a little bit better view and closer view than I did. He made the call right away. 4:02 to go in the third. Islanders lead 4-3.
Well, Ryan McDonough made a valiant attempt to keep the play alive. I thought it was on the line. Looked like it was. He got it to the net. Nabokov had to make a save, but the whistle blew.
Our game recap is brought to you by Tri-Honda dealers. Islanders 2 shorthanded goals in the first period, 1 on a penalty shot. Pouliot and Stepan with power play goals for the Rangers. And Thomas Vanek with a power play goal for the Islanders, his first power play goal as an Islander. And the Islanders have a 4-3 lead with 3:45 to go in the third. Rick Nash. Tavares sends it back in. In their last game, the Islanders had a 2-goal lead late in the third period. And Tampa Bay Lightning came back to tie them. Won it. In the shootout, Nash coming in deep, and he's upended by Hamonic.
Boy, Hamonic made a great play with the stick just prior to that, Sam.
Zuccarello's pass tipped out of the zone. Strawman recovers.
It looked like Nash was going to get a good shot on goal, and Hamonic with the stick came across.
And Moore pushes it ahead. Fonz Nielsen takes over. Nielsen lifts it out of the zone. Strawman knocks it down. Back in, got hooked by Grabner. Strawman gets hit by Bailey. And a penalty is upcoming. Josh Bailey is going to go, and the Rangers will get another power play with 2:52 remaining. In the third, Bailey goes off.
The Islanders were up 2-0 against Tampa Bay with 2:57 to go last game. They gave up 2 goals in the last 2:57. Here's the play. Hit from behind by Bailey. And that'll be a boarding call. There it comes again. Hits him from behind. Down goes Strawman. Off goes Bailey. Rangers power play. That was effective against Pittsburgh in coming back in that game. They got another chance here late.
You're watching the Foxwoods Final Five. Foxwoods, your destination for endless excitement. Visit foxwoods.com now. The Islanders with another face-off win and a clear.
Boy, it's just a clean win and an easy clear.
Bailey for boarding at 17:08. Rangers 2 for 6 on the power play in the game. Ryan Straight taken down. Kreider got it back to Stepan. Stepan to Richards. Richards winds up. Save made. Nash in the circle. Pass tipped Kreider. Kreider, Nash, Richards, Stepan, and McDonough for the power play. Here's McDonough. With 2:10 to go in the third period, will the Rangers pull Henrik Lundqvist? Shot by Nash. He was checked by Clutterbuck just as he shot. Didn't get all of it. It's through to McDonough. Saved to Markov. Kreider gets to the rebound around the boards. Stepan comes over, but it's cleared by Clutterbuck. 55 seconds to go in the power play. 1:45 to go in the third period. Played across, intercepted by Grabner. Good play by Michael Grabner. McDonough. Brassard has come on with Zuccarello. Delzano. Pouliot. And now John Moore. And it's cleared out of the zone by Thomas Hickey. Taken back by Nielsen. Nielsen by himself. Zuccarello has it back.
Just say, Sam, you can't try and win the one-on-ones here. Move the puck.
Open man, John Moore. That's deflected by Grabner. Zuccarello's got it. Rangers get an extra skater on. Their net is empty. 6 skaters on. Quick shot by Moore. Blocked by McDonald, whose stick was broken. Under a minute to go in regulation time. Saved to Markov. And the puck cleared out. Grabner's got an empty net to shoot at. Races to the empty net and scores. It's 5-3 Islanders as Michael Grabner doubles his goal output for the season. He had 2 on opening night. He hasn't scored since. He's got 2 tonight. And the Islanders have themselves a 5-3 lead.
Yeah, the Islanders had 2 players with broken sticks as the Rangers had pulled their goaltender. And Grabner finishes the play off into the empty net.
It is not a shorthanded goal. The power play had ended. So the Rangers had pulled goaltender Henrik Lundqvist. It is a 5-3 Islander lead. The Rangers will beat the Islanders again 3 times in January, including an outdoor game at Yankee Stadium on the 29th of January. They'll play on the 31st here at the Garden. The week before they'll have a game. So 3 meetings in 11 days in January between these 2 teams. But for the Islanders, it will be their first regulation win in their last 17 games. Last regulation win was November the 12th against Nashville. And for the Rangers, the homestand frustration continues.
John Giannot's got company in his between the benches.
Matt Martin came over the bench.
He got knocked right over the boards.
Well, I thought he wanted an interview with John.
Well, he might want to after this win.
Islanders come in and defeat the Rangers 5-3. And this homestand continues to bug the Rangers. They can't find the right formula to win here at the Garden.
Well, special teams turned out to be an obvious important part of this game. And the Rangers can't seem to give up fewer than 4 goals a game. They keep giving up too many goals. Now they scored, 3 goals. Normally with Henrik Lundqvist in the past has been enough to win games. It's not. And their special teams let them down.
Islanders' 10th win of the season. The Rangers had the lead 3-2. Matt Martin joins John Giannone. 5-3, Islanders win it.